First thing you did as the Supreme Demon Emperor was shed your name and quietly marry Ruyan, the Grand Empress. Yet that very same night, you awakened a divorce system. Divorce and half your cultivation would be taken by your spouse. But you'd receive it back 10,000-fold, unrivaled beneath the heavens. But what the system didn't know was that you had long since grown weary of slaughter. All you wanted now was to live an ordinary life. 1,000 years passed. You had 2 daughters and a son, and life felt full and content. But on the very day your wife ascended the throne, she announced in front of everyone that she wanted a divorce. Give me one reason. I'm sorry, this is my fault. I've just awakened the Immaculate Emperor's seat. If I want to grow stronger, I must sever all desire and attachment. With that, Liu Ruyan closed her eyes, not daring to meet your gaze. Hearing this, you only felt it was laughable. Between her cultivation, you and her own children. Your wife had chosen her cultivation. At that moment, Liu Ruyan's master, Lin Qingsui, suddenly pressed her urgently. Ruyan, we can't waste any more time. Your emperor's aura is nearly complete. If anything disrupts it now, you may never reach the very peak. Before her words even finished, Lin Qingsui suddenly felt a terrifying surge of killing intent, converging directly on her. With lightning speed, she snapped her gaze toward the source of that bone-chilling pressure. It was you, the one who hadn't even reached the Emperor realm. Just then, Liu Ruyan hurriedly spoke, her voice pleading. I'm begging you, for the sake of everything between us all these years, let me go. You fixed your gaze on Liu Ruyan, and then, with a surge of your Emperor's sense, you forced your way directly into her soul sea. Tell me, is someone forcing you into this? This was your last grasp at hope. Liu Ruyan was stunned. She had already broken through to the Grand Emperor realm. Only someone many times more powerful than her could forcefully breach into her soul sea like this. Liu Ruyan stared at her husband with disbelief. But the next instant, her eyes hardened again. No, I'm sorry. Your expression went ice cold. Then I wish you every success. You raised your arm, and the heaven's mark that had bound you, as cultivation partners all those years ago, shattered. The system chimed suddenly. Congratulations, host. Divorce successful. Of your combined cultivation, Liu Ruyan's share is nearly negligible. Host will immediately have close to half your cultivation transferred away. In the blink of an eye, half your cultivation vanished, while Liu Ruyan's cultivation, which had just barely entered the Grand Emperor realm, leapt straight to the 3rd substage of the Grand Emperor realm. Lin Qingsui stood there slack-jawed. A divine technique. This is an absolute divine technique. Ha ha ha! The Immaculate Emperor's seat truly does require severing all desire. This divorce was absolutely the right call. System, millionfold cultivation return. Successful. However, 1 million times half the host's cultivation is simply too overwhelming to release at once. The system will store it within the host's soul sea. Withdraw however much you need. Whenever you need it. Friendly reminder. The current world simply cannot withstand a full release of your power all at once. If you did, the world would collapse. So please exercise some restraint, and try not to accidentally wipe out every living soul in existence. Looking at the system prompt, you felt no joy whatsoever. Because right now, your 3 children, some were sobbing. Some stood in silence. Daddy, I don't want you to leave. You gently stroked your youngest daughter's forehead. Don't cry, sweetheart. Daddy will always love you, I promise. In that moment, all the tenderness you had left was for your children. Meanwhile, Liu Ruyan knew that the Immaculate Emperor's seat only required severing romantic ties, and she intended to fight for the children. Children, I already asked each of you before today. Have you decided? Will you stay with your mother, or go with your father? Lu Zixuan had long since clenched her fists tight, and stared at the others, her expression unmoved. Lin Qingsui produced a saber and a sword, one for Zhengcan, one for Zixuan. These 2 peerless weapons were prepared for you in advance by your mother. Come to this side, and these weapons are yours. Follow your mother from now on. With your natural talent and gifts, plus your mother's resources, you will absolutely reach Emperor Realm one day. Just then, Lu Zhengcan, who had been standing with his head hung, finally stirred. He suddenly dropped to his knees. Father, forgive me. I want to stay with mother. You placed your palm gently on your son's head, resigned. From now on, father can no longer look after you. Listen to your mother well, and train hard. He rose and walked toward Liu Ruyan's side. The moment he reached her, Lin Qingsui quickly pressed the peerless saber into Lu Zhengcan's hands. Lu Zhengcan's eyes lit up as he stared at the saber, as though he'd received the greatest gift in the world. Just then, Lin Qingsui turned to Lu Zixuan with a look of triumph. Zixuan, come quickly. This sword is yours. Hearing this, Lu Zixuan's fists remained clenched tight, and then she walked steadily toward them. Yet when she arrived before Liu Ruyan, she fixed her mother with a long, hard stare, then shot a sharp glare at her spineless little brother, and turned around and walked straight to your side. Father, your daughter will always stand by you. You looked at your eldest daughter, and felt warmth flood back into your frozen heart. Zixuan, are you certain? Facing her mother's question, Lu Zixuan chose silence. Zixuan, you're still young. You don't understand what's at stake. You need to think about your own future. Following your father, you'll never have a hope of reaching Emperor Realm. Even without relying on any of you, I can reach Emperor Realm through my own effort. Sis, just as Lu Zhengcan tried to talk his sister out of acting on impulse, Lu Zixuan cut him off cold. Shut your mouth. Say one more word, and I no longer have a brother. Lu Zixuan knew this clearly. Compared to their mother, who was always buried in cultivation, their father's love for them was truly boundless. Lu Zixuan's words made Lu Zhengcan lower his head, but deep down he still felt his sister was letting her emotions rule her. Without their mother's resources, neither of them could possibly have become the most gifted prodigies of their generation. Meanwhile, the onlookers nearby were whispering among themselves, Look, Liu Ruyan just shot straight to the late stage of the Grand Emperor Realm in one leap. With that kind of talent and power, she's destined to become one of the absolute peaks of the immortal domain. Not following Liu Ruyan will be the biggest mistake that man ever makes in his life. Seeing that her eldest daughter's mind was made up, Liu Ruyan then looked toward her youngest daughter, Miao Miao, And you, Meow Meow? Meow Meow immediately gripped your hand tight. Mother is a big meanie. I'm never talking to you again. Lu Ruyan looked at Lu Meow Meow, her expression an unreadable tangle of emotions. Meow Meow, come to Mother's side. From now on, we'll hire masters renowned for their cultivation and their exquisite cooking to make you delicious cakes and food every single day. You meanie, don't talk to me. Daddy, let's go. I don't want to be here anymore. Watching his little girl's heartbroken face, you said softly, Meow Meow. Sleep for a little while. Daddy just needs to say a few words. Then we'll leave. Before you even finished, Meow Meow had already fallen asleep in your arms. After handing Meow Meow to your eldest to watch over, you walked up to Lu Ruyan with cold detachment, thinking back to the moment of that divorce. You had briefly lost sight of any path forward, but when both daughters chose without hesitation to stay by your side, a road appeared before you once more. Grand Emperor Realm, quite the power. I hope one day your strength surpasses even my two daughters. You said nothing crueler than that. After all, you had once loved this woman with all your heart. But then, you reached out and grabbed Lin Qingsui by the throat. You just used every trick you had to try to sway my children. If not for the fact that you are her master, and that my children are present, you would already be dead. You threw her aside like garbage, then looked towards your son. Father won't be around anymore. Take care of yourself. Finally, you walked over. To your sister-in-law and old friend, He Hong. When I leave this time, I likely won't return. So, farewell. He Hong looked at you with eyes full of guilt. Because the two peerless weapons Lin Qingsui had just produced had come from He Hong's own hands. Qing'an, I don't want to stay here either. Let's go together. No, Hila. I'm heading to the demon domain. I come from there. We'll stay in contact through voice transmission. If you ever want to see me, come to the demon domain. I'll send someone to escort you. All right, until we meet again. With that, you rose into the sky, and for the first time you let your cultivation aura flow freely, unmasked, and carried your two daughters off into the distant heavens. Everyone present was struck speechless by the sight. That man, he's from the demon domain? And his cultivation is at the peak of the Grand Emperor Realm? He's been living among us in the immortal domain all these years, and no one ever noticed? Lu Ruyan's eyes went wide. She had been kept in the dark for all these years. Ruyan, and that man is actually from the demon domain. You were right to divorce him. He must have seen you break through to the late stage of the Grand Emperor Realm, and felt threatened to his core. Once you break through to the peak of the Grand Emperor Realm, your power will crush him without effort. Lu Ruyan nodded. With her talent now, she wasn't far behind even the greatest demon emperor of the past billion years. Half an hour later, you brought your two daughters to the border between the immortal domain and the demon domain. Zixuan, Meow Meow. The demon domain lies just ahead. Are you scared? With Daddy here, we're not afraid of anywhere. Same. Meow Meow isn't scared either. Hearing that, you smiled with warmth and ruffled both daughters' hair. And you're right not to be, because your daddy has long since been unrivaled. Dad, are you sure you're actually unrivaled? Didn't you teach us that there's always someone stronger, and we should never be arrogant? You two absolutely cannot be arrogant. But your daddy, I happen to be the exception. Because I am the someone stronger that everyone else is afraid of. Hearing that, Lu Zixuan burst out laughing, covering her mouth. Daddy, you're so shameless. Haha, Daddy does have a point. Just barely. Watching your two daughters laugh with joy, every shadow in your heart lifted clean away. Alright, let's go. Daddy's taking you to explore the demon domain. Is there lots of good food in the demon domain? Quite a lot, actually. I happen to know an old demon. His cooking is extraordinary. But before we get there, I need to take you somewhere first. A short while later, you led your daughters deep into a hidden vault. Daddy, what is this place? This is my old treasure vault from my time in the demon domain. Now, Shenkan just got a peerless saber, didn't he? Daddy's gonna give you your own weapons now. You called out loudly to the space around you. Xiao Hazy, where have you run off to? I told you to stay here and guard this place. I've been here a while already and haven't seen a trace of you. Finally, you recited an incantation and in the next instant, a long sword and a suit of dark onyx armor burst forth from the lava. This full set of equipment was the blood deer battle armor you had once swept through the demon domain in. Time for you two to see the light of day again. In the next instant, the sword flashed into your hand. Zixuan, this peerless sword is called the Ju Yu Immortal Sword, but I prefer its original name, Sao Jin Cho. Today, Daddy gives this sword to you. Then you turned to the sword and said, Kao Jin Cho, this is my precious daughter. From this day forth, serve her well, understood? The sword shuddered once, as if in agreement. You gestured for Lu Zixuan to take the sword, but she shook her head. This sword is far too precious. I can't accept it. And the way my cultivation stands now, I'm not worthy of a sword like this. She was stunned, because the sword's aura was 1,000 times mightier than her brother's peerless saber. No, Zixuan, you need not worry. Simply by being my daughter, and carrying my blood, there is nothing in this world you are unworthy of. Only things you don't want. Zixuan burst out laughing. Daddy! What you just said was pretty cool. But somehow it's also kind of hilarious. Why is that? Then you'd better get used to it. Because in the demon domain, your daddy may need to adjust his image a little. Things here are far harsher. Unlike the immortal domain with all its rules and courtesies, over here what matters is simple. The strongest fist is the law. So, Daddy has a few things to give you. You place the sword directly into your eldest daughter's hands. Then you turn to your youngest, Lu Meow Meow. Meow Meow, Daddy has something good for you too. Just then, the armor rapidly shrank and drifted to Meow Meow's side. Is this for Meow Meow? It looks so ugly. The armor visibly trembled at the word ugly. You stifled a laugh. Blood deer battle armor. And did you hear that? My daughter doesn't like the way you look right now. Change yourself into something a child would love. In an instant, the jet black blood deer battle armor transformed into a suit of pink armor. Lu Meow Meow was immediately enchanted. You gave the blood deer battle armor a big thumbs up. Meow Meow, do you like it now? Like it? I love it. Good. Then give this gift a new name of your own. You'll be able to talk to it too. Make it any color you want. Turn it invisible, big or small, and whatever you like. Whoa, it can do all that? Let me think of a name. She chewed her finger, lost in thought. Then her face lit up. Got it. I'll call it Donut. The moment the name landed, the Blood Deer battle armor began to cry with grievance. Seeing this, you quickly patted the Blood Deer battle armor. Did you hear that? Your name is Donut from now on. In the next instant, the Blood Deer battle armor immediately burst into happy laughter. Meow meow! See? It loves the name. I guess it does. Lu Zixuan went completely silent at this. Then, you reached into the lava and retrieved various demon cultivation manuals, suited to their training. Even as you were about to leave, you were still wondering where Xiao Heizi had gone. You had ordered him to guard this place without fail. You had been counting on him to watch over both daughters for you, and now there was no sign of him. After leaving the secret vault, you brought your daughters to Moling City, where an old hermit's demon cultivation technique seemed to be a perfect fit for their constitution. On the main street of Moling City, Lu Zixuan's eyes were wide with amazement. Father? The cities in the demon domain are nothing like what I imagined. I thought it would be all chaos, fighting and killing everywhere. Actually, the cities in the demon domain aren't that different from those in the immortal domain. The cultivation systems are just different, that's all. But just then, Lu Zixuan suddenly called out toward the sky, Father! Look, there are people fighting up there. Up in the sky at that moment, several men with wicked grins on their faces were surrounding a woman in a red dress. Brother, wait, we have to get our hands on this little woman. Tonight's going to be a good time. The fun is secondary. What matters is what she's carrying on her. Though I'll admit, she does look quite something. Those men clearly had their eyes set on more than just that woman's belongings. What, you want to go help her? You knew perfectly well that your daughter had a strong sense of justice in her heart. I probably shouldn't get involved. You don't need to overthink it. Daddy's here to back you up. Besides, this is a good chance to get you used to combat in the demon domain, but my cultivation is still rooted in the immortal ruins. The moment I make a move, won't it draw a swarm of demon domain cultivators to attack me? Your expression was perfectly calm. However many come, that many fall. Handle it as you see fit. Don't worry about a thing. Hearing that, Lu Zixuan didn't hesitate another moment. Father. Then I'm going. This is a good chance to test out my new weapon. With that, Lu Zixuan's silhouette flashed, and she appeared at the red-dressed woman's side. Fellow cultivator, I'm here to help. With that, she swung her sword in a single strike. A flash of light cut through the air, and one of the demon domain men fell dead on the spot. The other four immediately tensed, especially when they caught sight of the sword in Lu Zixuan's hand. That looks like a peerless sword. Damn it, they're working together. Wait, this girl isn't using demonic energy. She's using spirit energy. She's from the immortal ruins. The woman in the red dress felt despair wash over her the moment she heard that. 1 second, she was relieved someone had come to her aid. And the next, she knew there was no such thing as a free meal. Meanwhile, Lu Zixuan stared at the divine weapon in her hand, completely stunned. Both were God Transformation Realm weapons. Yet with this one, a single casual strike had been enough to kill. Fellow cultivators? Someone from the immortal ruins has entered our demon domain, and has killed one of our own on top of it, and she possesses a peerless sword. Let us join forces and cut her down. The sword shall go to whoever has the destiny to claim it. Before the words had even finished, a wave of demon domain cultivators surged forward, but Lu Zixuan calmly sent you a voice transmission. Father, none of these people have surpassed the God Transformation Realm. I can handle this. Go ahead, hold nothing back. You had no worry for your daughter. Everything was firmly within your grasp. And so, Lu Zixuan launched into fierce battle against the swarm of enemies. And yet, no one was paying any attention to the red-dressed woman anymore. She watched Lu Zixuan being surrounded and attacked, her heart in a tangle. Right now was the perfect chance to run. But after a brief hesitation, she clenched her jaw and charged back in. The red-dressed woman rushed forward to fight alongside Lu Zixuan. You glanced at her. Not bad. At least she had some principles and didn't just bolt. Wait, something about this girl. Why does she carry a familiar aura? But just then, a sinister voice rang out. Someone from the immortal ruins, and a peerless sword on top of it. To think that making this trip, this old man would stumble upon such a windfall. Little girl, hand over this old man's sword. Trouble, a Saint King level powerhouse. With someone this strong, that sword is completely out of our reach. However, the moment the old man's eyes met yours, Grand Emperor, this junior had eyes but failed to see. Please continue, senior. This junior will take his leave immediately. Hold on, I actually prefer that arrogant attitude you had just a moment ago, before the words had even landed. The old man had shattered both his own arms. I was wrong. Please, I beg you, spare this dog's life. Fine, you do seem to know what's good for you. Thank you, senior, for sparing my life. With that, the old man turned and vanished without a trace. You then called out to the others still in the sky. Carry on. Don't just stand there staring at me. Lu Zixuan thought to herself. So this is what it feels like to have an invincible father. But every demon domain cultivator present was no fool. They turned and fled in an instant. Seeing this, you simply raised your arm with a light gesture, and a barrier locked an entire stretch of sky, sealing the whole area shut. We're trapped! They slammed against the barrier with everything they had, and it didn't make the faintest difference. Lu Zixuan and the red-dressed woman moved in once more. 2.5 minutes later, every last one who had taken to the sky and launched themselves at Lu Zixuan had become fallen souls under the two girls' swords. Lu Zixuan hurried to your side. Father, this sword is a perfect fit. You gave a satisfied nod, mentally noting to yourself that you needed to find a suitable cultivation technique for your daughter soon. One that matched her constitution, and convert her entire foundation over to demonic cultivation. Using an immortal ruins technique here in the demon domain was simply too conspicuous. But just then, a cold, sinister voice drifted out from the void. I sensed it from far away. The aura of a peerless sword. I thought I must have sensed wrong. But no, it's real. Huh? Looks like this trip wasn't wasted after all. And it turns out to be someone from the Xingshi sect. The image of an old enemy surfaced in your mind. You remembered. Back then you had wiped out every single Emperor Realm powerhouse within the Xingshu sect. And yet, barely 1,000 years later, a new Grand Emperor Realm cultivator had emerged from the Xingshu sect. Well, their timing was convenient. Is that so? If I recall correctly, someone else said those exact same words just moments ago. I'm still not sure why he suddenly shattered both his arms and tucked his tail between his legs to flee. Don't tempt death. It seems the Xingshu sect's former greatness is largely unknown to most in the demon domain. They've forgotten just how powerful we once were. In that case, I'll use you today to show the world that the Xingshu sect, at its absolute peak, has returned. Well, that's just wonderful. Not only do you want to steal my sword, you've stolen my line too. It seems the Xingshu sect still needs a bit more time to marinate before the last word had even left your lips. The Xingshu sect powerhouse, still smirking coldly, had already been seized by the throat in your grip, when he realized that no matter what he tried, he could not break free from your hold. Impossible. Funny, your old patriarch said the same thing right before he died. Word for word, your Xingshu sect really does have a way of staying in sync. As he finished speaking, a terrifying black radiance suddenly erupted from the Xingshu sect powerhouse's body. In the blink of an eye, he was reduced to black ash. The woman in red stood there blankly, staring at everything that had just unfolded. What was that just now? Was that black radiance? It just instantly killed a mid-stage Grand Emperor Realm powerhouse. You had already returned to your youngest daughter's side. Meow meow. Were you scared? Scared? I actually thought Daddy looked really cool just now, looking at your little girl. You thought to yourself, this precious little one of yours really does have something special about her, worthy of carrying your bloodline. But just then, ominous thunderclouds suddenly billowed across the sky above. Then, a thunderous ancient voice shook the heavens. What insolent creature dares cause havoc here? A terrifying wave of pressure crashed down from above. It's the city lord in person. That person is in serious trouble now. How so? The city lord of Moling City is one of the absolute top powerhouses in the demon domain, peak Grand Emperor Realm. But at that moment, the corners of your lips curved slightly upward. This old thing still loves putting on a show. Then, a figure slowly materialized in the sky. What insignificant ant is this? State your name. It's your grandfather. Why aren't you getting down here to pay your respects? How dare you? Wait, am I seeing things? And with that single utterance, all the pressure and the roiling thunderclouds vanished in an instant. The next moment, that figure had already arrived at your side. Ha ha ha, it really is you. Where on earth have you been hiding all these years? I've been searching for you like mad. Meow meow, look. This is the one I told you about. The old demon who's an extraordinary cook. Meow meow's eyes instantly lit up at the sight of the old demon, while the old demon himself looked thoroughly baffled. Wait, hold on. This is your daughter? Well, I've been wondering why I couldn't find you anywhere in the demon domain. Turns out you snuck off to the immortal ruins to chase women. You stepped right up and delivered a sharp kick straight to the old demon's side. You decrepit old fool. If you can't say anything proper, keep your mouth shut. But Xiao Qingyi wasn't the least bit offended. If anything, he felt that familiar feeling was back. I'm back this time, and I'm not leaving. First, help me find a suitable place. I'd like to stay with you for a while. Perfect, as you can't go back on that. Since you left the demon domain, I haven't had a single person to talk to. And now look, not only are you staying with me, you've brought along two such lovely, adorable daughters. This place is going to be so lively from now on. Just then you suddenly remembered something. Come down here. The red-dressed woman had no time to think, and the next second she appeared before you, her body trembling. What is your name? Senior, this junior's full name is Sun Minzi. Hearing the surname Sun, you were now able to confirm this young woman's identity. Do you have anywhere to go? My daughter is visiting the demon domain for the first time. She doesn't know her way around many things here yet. You two are close in age. I need you to help show her around. Sun Minzi looked toward Lu Zixuan, as if she had just caught hold of an olive branch that fate had thrown her way. She nodded eagerly. Yes, from now on you'll come with us. A short while later, in a tranquil courtyard at the heart of Moling City, Xiao Qingyi said with a smug grin, What do you think of this place? I've been living here alone all this time. Now that you're here, it's yours. You looked at the courtyard and frowned. Are you sure this is your courtyard? Huh, what can I say? I got so used to visiting yours back then, I just copied it exactly. You laughed helplessly. Just then, Lu Miao Miao patted her loudly rumbling stomach. Daddy, I'm a little hungry. You looked over at Xiao Qingye. Time to show us what you can really do. Ha ha. Finally, a chance to show off. Meow meow. Grandpa Xiao is going right now to get the ingredients ready. With that, Xiao Qingyi's figure vanished on the spot. But the very next second, he reappeared, hoisting a demonic beast as large as the entire courtyard, high up in the sky above. After dinner, you and Xiao Qingyi sat together in the pavilion. The children have all gone to rest. Stop looking. Let's keep drinking. You let out a quiet sigh. Shingan, we've known each other for tens of thousands of years. When something's weighing on you, I can see it with one glance. Speaking of which, why didn't the mother of those two children come with you? You glanced at Xiao Qingyi and said nothing. All right, you don't want to talk about it. Consider it unasked. Let's keep drinking. Tonight, we drink until we can't. In that moment, you two wanted someone to talk to. You drew a slow breath. Their mother and I parted ways. Xiao Qingyi froze the moment he heard that. How on earth did a woman manage to divorce you? What? I can't make sense of it. So you recounted everything that had happened not long before, laying it all out. And once you'd said it all, you suddenly felt lighter inside. Xiao Qingyi, however, went quiet. How can a woman this foolish exist in this world? She doesn't even know what kind of man she just let go. Emboldened by the wine, Xiao Qingyi leaned in and said, Jing'an, if that woman eventually realizes she was the one who was wrong, would you forgive her? After all, however you look at it, she is the children's mother. You looked at Xiao Qingyi steadily. You know me better than anyone. That question shouldn't be coming from your mouth. All right. I support you unconditionally no matter what. Then Xiao Qingyi leaned in with a mischievous grin and whispered to you, there are a few women who come looking for you here almost every year, especially that Huan Yan. She's been searching the demon domain for you for 1,000 years. I heard she even went to the immortal ruins looking for you, but accidentally exposed herself as a demon domain powerhouse, and got surrounded and attacked by Grand Emperor Realm cultivators over there. She barely made it back alive and spent a very long time recovering. That girl genuinely has feelings for you. Huan Yan, a face of breathtaking beauty, surfaced in your mind. She actually went to the immortal ruins? She did, but as you well know, crossing that boundary marker would greatly diminish one's power. The fact that she didn't die over there, that's pure luck. A woman like that, and you still can't find it in you to look her way. You raised an eyebrow. Are you trying to play matchmaker again? Alright, pretend I said nothing. You quickly changed the subject. Right, my cultivation technique doesn't quite suit my daughters. I'd like to have them try yours. Easy, your daughters are my daughters. If mine doesn't fit, I'll search every corner of the demon domain until I find a technique that suits each of them perfectly. Meanwhile, inside Lu Zixuan's room, sis, I can't sleep. What is it? I clearly resent mother, but I miss her a little. Lu Zixuan gently stroked Meow Meow's hair. Don't miss her. As long as we have father, that's enough. Sis, will we really never see mother again in this lifetime? We will. But when? When we've both cultivated to the Grand Emperor realm, we'll go see her together. Really? By then I'll defeat her myself, and show her that her choice was wrong. Alright, then Meow Meow. I'm going to start training seriously too. We'll go defeat her together. The next morning, you brought both daughters to the training room. Old Xiao, time to transmit the technique. Lu Zixuan sat down cross-legged before Xiao Qingyi, as a small cluster of violet lightning condensed at his fingertip. Zixuan, in a moment, I'll transmit this technique directly into your soul sea. That way, you'll know in the fastest possible time whether this technique is actually compatible with your constitution. But just then, Lu Zixuan spoke up. Grandpa Xiao, could you move that little lightning ball a bit further away? It's making me uncomfortable just looking at it. Xiao Qingyi immediately glanced over at you, and you simply said in an even tone, a small thing like this. Surely you can manage. Xiao Qingyi nodded quickly. A short while later, Lu Zixuan swiftly entered a state of deep comprehension. But just at that moment, Lu Meow Meow, who rarely showed any interest in training, suddenly said, Daddy, Meow Meow wants to train too. You stared at your youngest daughter in total disbelief. Old Xiao, let Meow Meow give it a try too. Xiao Qingyi nodded. After passing on the technique, Xiao Qingyi gave you a weird look and said, Zixuan, how long has she been like this? Since she was little. So basically the same as Zhui Tianfei? Not quite that extreme yet. But this kind of mental thing, there's nothing I can do about it. Hey, wasn't the whole reason you turned down Zhui Tianfei because of that exact personality? And now your own daughter's the same way. Alright, drop it. Oh, I forgot to ask you something yesterday. Have you run into that little black gremlin over the years? Actually, yeah, I have. Because he stole my most powerful weapon, the Thunder Flame Sword. At that, your face went completely red. And then? There's no and then. Look, I'm telling you, you need to get my Thunder Flame Sword back. But he's your contract beast. I don't even know where he is right now. Don't you have a contract bond with him? I severed half of it when I left. Xiao Qingyi went quiet. 2.5 minutes later, Lu Zixuan opened her eyes. Dad, this technique feels pretty good, but I keep feeling like something's just slightly off. You quickly placed your hand on your eldest daughter's head and sensed. A moment later, this technique is about 90% compatible with your constitution. Just a bit short, it's fine. Dad will keep looking for something better. Right then, Dad, does this mean Meow Meow can actually start cultivating? Xiao Qingyi's eyes went wide on the spot. Oh my god. In all my years, I've never seen anyone condense purple lightning. The very first time they try a technique. Truly your daughter. Dad, is what I did really that impressive? Let's just say it blows what I could do. When I first started out of the water, you quickly turned to comfort your eldest, Zixuan. Don't get discouraged. Dad's working on finding a technique that's a better fit for you. Lu Zixuan gave a small nod. Then Xiao Qingyi pulled you aside outside the courtyard. Honestly, I think you should have. Zixuan tries Zhui Tianfei's technique. Here we go again. This time, I'm not saying it for your personal life. I'm giving this suggestion, because those two are remarkably similar. The technique might just be a perfect fit. You mulled it over for a moment, then said, Are you two still in contact? Can I afford not to be? Every day at 5 a.m. I have to send a message on the dot, asking if there's any news about you. Otherwise, I get absolutely blasted by his fury, especially after his weapon got stolen. I get it now. All those years you kept pushing me to be with him. You were being coerced. That is absolutely not what happened. Alright, send him a message. Have him come by. Xiao Qingyi let out a huge sigh of relief. Finally, no more doing that same mission every single day, but just a quarter hour later. Lu Meow Meow pointed out the window. Dad? That's so weird. It's snowing outside out of nowhere. Right then, a white figure appeared outside the window.
Little Qingyi, you said there was a lead on the key.
I actually tracked down some info on him. Zhui Tianfei stepped toward the entrance, but stopped short of going inside, afraid of getting her outfit dirty. Right at that moment, the voice that lived in her dreams every night sounded from inside the room. You're here, come sit. A second later, Zhui Tianfei had already flashed inside. Where have you been all these years? Do you have any idea what I've been through? Xiao Qingyi looked at Zhui Tianfei, putting on the full damsel in distress act, and thought to himself, in this whole world, only in front of you does she act like this. You're the same as always. No, I'm not. I've changed a lot, actually. Sure. She then started sizing up the two people next to you. And these two little girls these are my two daughters. Meow Meow Zixuan, call her Auntie Shui. Zhui Tianfei nearly coughed up blood on the spot. You flinched at the sight. Your whole plan with that introduction was to make Zhui Tianfei give up for good. You just didn't expect her reaction to be quite this intense. The vibe in the room got weird fast. Zixuan, take your sister back to the room to play. Okay, she did. Lu Zixuan took Meow Meow by the hand and left. Now only 3 remained in the room. Xiao Qingyi shot a glance at the two of you. Actually, well, I've got some stuff to take care of. Stay right here. Then you turned to Xue Tianfei. You okay? Xue Tianfei wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth. I'm fine. So you got married over in Jianshu? You nodded. 2 kids, both cute, both gorgeous. Definitely your kids. Xiao Qingyi immediately saw right through Xue Tianfei's little pity play. How come we don't see the kid's mother? We've already separated. Xue Tianfei's whole face lit up with barely contained excitement. Oh, that's too bad. She barely held back a smile. So, are you ever going back? No. What's done is done. Xue Tianfei immediately went full supportive bestie mode, nodding earnestly. Exactly right. When something breaks in a relationship, it just can't be put back together. But you've got to keep moving forward. Personally, I don't care whether you had something with another woman before. As long as that's all in the past, everything's workable. Besides, those 2 kids don't have a mom looking after them now. Have you thought about finding them a stepmom? Xue Tianfei's face turned completely red. Xiao Qingyi saw that red face and immediately broke into the most shameless grin. You let out a long sigh. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right now, I'm not thinking about any of that. All right. But when the time comes and you do want a stepmom for them, let me know. I happen to know someone who would be perfect for you. You changed the subject. Anyway, the reason I had old Xiao reach out. There's something I need your help with. Given our relationship, just say it. My eldest needs a demon realm cultivation technique. I've been looking for something that's a strong match for her. I want to see if yours might fit. Simple as that. I'll pass it to her and we'll find out. Internally, Xue Tianfei knew this was her opening. Get on the kid's good side, and you won't have a say in what happens next. A little while later, Xue Tianfei came to Lu Zixuan's room. 2 pretty little princesses. What are you 2 up to? I'm trying to learn about the demon realm. Anything you're confused about, just ask Auntie Xue. She knows this place inside and out. Thanks, Auntie Xue. Of course, of course. This is what Auntie's here for. Oh, right. Your dad asked me to pass you a technique. Give it a try, whenever you're ready. Now works. Lu Zixuan settled into a cross-legged position. Xue Tianfei immediately conjured a crystal-clear, perfectly shaped snowflake at her fingertip. Lu Zixuan stared at that impossibly precise, immaculate form and felt a wave of deep, overwhelming calm wash over her. A moment later, Lu Zixuan opened her eyes. Dad, practicing this feels incredible. Not a single thing feels wrong. And you placed your hand on your eldest's head and ran a full check. Perfect. This technique is a flawless match for you. From now on, this is the one you train with. But before that, Dad needs to convert the cultivation. You built up back in Jianshu first. Then you looked over at Xue Tianfei and the others. You all step out. Dad, do I have to leave too? Yes, don't disturb your sister. Didn't you want some frozen watermelon? Go ask Auntie Xue. Yay! Auntie Xue, let's go! Lu Miao Miao grabbed Xue Tianfei's hand right away. And Xue Tianfei's whole body gave a visible jolt. Because this was the very first time anyone had ever held her hand. Out in the courtyard, Lu Miao Miao was going at a slice of frozen watermelon. Meow Meow, here, take this message, Jade Slip. Anytime you want more of this watermelon, just hit me up. Lu Miao Miao wiped her mouth with one hand. Deal. Frozen watermelon is the best. And with that, Lu Miao Miao happily went right back to chomping away. Seeing this, Xue Tianfei decided to dig a little deeper into Meow Meow's preferences. Meow Meow, are you just really into cold things? No, I just like everything that tastes good. Xue Tianfei heard that, and immediately knew she was dealing with a little foodie. Meow Meow, Auntie Xue isn't great at cooking. But I can learn. I'll make you all kinds of stuff going forward, okay? It's okay, Uncle Xiao is already a really good cook. Xue Tianfei paused for a beat. Then how about Auntie Xue brings you the Demon Realm's local specialties? Like demon balls? The smell alone will knock your socks off. Lu Miao Miao's eyes lit up completely. That's amazing. Auntie Xue, from now on, you're officially my second best friend in the Demon Realm. Xue Tianfei got curious. Then who's first? Uncle Xiao, obviously. Xue Tianfei snapped instantly. Xiao Qingyi, you are so dead. Right at that moment, Xiao Qingyi had just stepped out of the cabin and suddenly felt a chill run down his spine. Get over here! What in the world did I do to you this time? Xue Tianfei dragged Xiao Qingyi to the stone pavilion. Off to the side. Her whole demeanor went ice cold. I have a question for you. Do you know everything about that woman? Xiao Qingyi's face twitched. Could you maybe talk to me like a normal person for once? I've been putting in good words for you this whole time. Yeah, right. I'll believe that when I see it. Fine, fine. No good deed goes unpunished. Just talk. Stop wasting time. Tell me everything you know. A moment later, Xiao Qingyi spilled everything he knew. After Xue Tianfei heard it all, she was floored. Wait, that woman is genuinely unbelievably stupid. Yep, that's exactly what I thought at the time too. Xue Tianfei caught herself quickly. Wait. I shouldn't be calling her stupid. If she had valued what she had, I'd never have gotten this chance in my entire life. Anyway, knowing Qing'an like I do, there is zero chance he's going back. So all you have to do now is put in a little effort. And the odds of getting into his heart are actually pretty solid. You know what? I think I actually like you now. So I'll let you off the hook today. After Xiao Qingyi sat in silence for a solid half hour, you successfully converted your eldest daughter's cultivation base to align with Demon Realm standards, and even helped her break through an entire major realm. Then you brought your eldest out to the garden. And when you saw Xue Tianfei actually having a blast with Lu Miao Miao, you zoned out for just a second. You two got close fast. Xue Tianfei laughed. She's cute and she's sharp. How could I not? Meow Meow, go on, tell your dad. Who's your #1 best friend in the Demon Realm? Auntie Xue. You and your eldest exchanged a glance. Xue Tianfei's got game. But right at that moment, the message Jade Slip in your spatial storage started buzzing. You pulled it out. And it was your good friend from Xianshu, Old He, sending a message. I can't stay in Xianshu anymore. Can I come find you in the Demon Realm? Old He, what happened? After you left, everyone found out. You were one of the Demon Realm's top rivals, over here. And given my relationship with you, the whole sect acts like we're practically the same person. Now people are saying I betrayed the sect. That I brought Demon Realm people in. They only dare talk behind your back anyway. Since you've already made your call, Just head straight to the border where Shanshu meets the demon realm. Then message me. I'll come pick you up personally. Deal. Oh, almost forgot to mention, your ex-sister-in-law, Liu Yunyi, is insisting on coming with me. You didn't say no, because that ex-sister-in-law had always been good to you and the kids. When the message ended, both daughters had already rushed to your side and immediately asked, is it Grandpa he and Auntie coming again? You nodded. Both daughters were over the moon. But when Xue Tianfei heard the news, her eyes narrowed slowly. Good. Let me see just what that woman's little sister is made of. Meanwhile, in a grand hall somewhere, Sister, is there anything you'd like me to pass on to the children? Liu Ruyan closed her eyes. After a long pause, tell them. Their mother has her own life to live. Tell them not to resent me. And take care of yourself out there. Come back soon. The longer you stay there, the more dangerous it gets. Liu Yunyi heard all of that and was completely crushed. She turned and left without a word. The next day, the two of them arrived at the border between Xianhu and the demon realm. He pulled out the jade slip and sent a message. We've made it to the boundary. Where are you? Not long after they crossed over, a figure suddenly appeared in front of them. You stepped up right away. He clapped you on the shoulder. First time here! Moyo, you better keep us safe. Relax. No one in the demon realm can touch you. Come on, follow me. The kids are already waiting for you. A little while later, you brought everyone into the courtyard. After some brief introductions all around, Xue Tianfei suddenly pointed at you and said to the two newcomers, Oh, I forgot to introduce myself properly. I'm still actively pursuing him. The moment those words landed, the already warming vibe in the room instantly got awkward. You shot Xue Tianfei a speechless look. Ha! Didn't expect Qing'an to be even more popular over here. He couldn't help but take a longer look at Xue Tianfei. Wait, why does this woman look exactly like that demon realm powerhouse, who got surrounded by a whole group of Jianshu cultivators that day? And you knew this conversation had to stop right here. You've all traveled a long way. You must be exhausted. Let's get everyone rested first. Xue Tianfei saw you cut off that thread, and immediately wasn't happy about it. Then she quietly shifted her gaze to Liu Yunyi, only to find Liu Yunyi was already looking right back at her. So the two of them started sizing each other up, with a silent, loaded stare down. 2.5 minutes later, Old. He quickly grabbed your arm and pulled you to the back garden. Are you and Ruyan really done for good? If you need me to help patch things up between you two, I'll do whatever I can. I mean, I was the one who introduced you in the first place. No need, let it go. Alright, if that's how it is, then I'm staying here for good. Honestly, this old man just loves studying alchemy. I don't really care about anything else out there. Just set me up. With a proper alchemy room here, that's enough. Most of all, I really like your two kids. I want to watch them grow up healthy. After saying that, a trace of sorrow flashed in He Hong's eyes. From what you knew before, He Hong once had a daughter, but she died when she was still very young. Alright, I'll have someone set up an alchemy room for you. Once you're in the demon domain, I'll make sure everything's arranged. He Hong chuckled. I can't take advantage of you for free. Whenever you need alchemy done, just call me. I'll do it free. You joked back. Fine. You said it. I'm definitely gonna make use of this free labor. A moment later, just as you reached the hallway, you ran into Liu Yunyi, who was coming out of your eldest daughter's room. Brother-in-law. Can I talk to you alone? You thought for a second, then agreed. So the two of you headed toward the garden. But Xue Tianfei saw the whole thing. She turned to Xiao Qingyi. Her sister already divorced him. Why is she still calling him brother-in-law? And why is she talking to him alone? Doesn't she know it's really inappropriate for a man and woman to be alone together? What's the big deal? She's been calling him brother-in-law for 1,000 years. It's not gonna change overnight. Who exactly are you defending here? Xiao Qingyi was breaking out in a cold sweat. I'm saying this, and you won't like it. Fine, I'll shut up. In the back garden, looking at your former sister-in-law Liu Yunyi, you already had a pretty good idea what she wanted to say. The next second, Liu Yunyi suddenly bowed at a 90-degree angle to you. Brother-in-law, I'm apologizing to you on behalf of my sister. You let out a deep sigh. You knew she was kind-hearted. Get up. It's not your fault. I watched her grow up myself, so I know better than anyone how badly she wants power. But I never thought things would turn out this bad. Alright, stop. Things have already gone this far. There's no going back now. Liu Yunyi lowered her head even more. If there's nothing else, let's head back.
Brother-in-law, I still want to apologize for Jungran and my little brother.
You went quiet on the spot. What, this girl was born to apologize or something? So you grinned. Alright. You want to apologize, right? Then at least show some sincerity. Liu Yunyi blushed. So what do I need to do? For you to accept my apology? Then from now on, stay here. And don't go back! Can you do that? You were just teasing Liu Yunyi. But after hearing that, she said, I can go back first and say a proper goodbye. You were like, well, damn. Alright, I'm not teasing you anymore. I accept your apology. Happy now? I don't even know what to say to you anymore. Liu Yunyi actually looked a little disappointed. Seeing that, you turned and headed back toward the courtyard. When you got there, you saw He Hong staring obsessively at the divine weapon in his hands. When He Hong saw you come over, he hurriedly said, this peerless divine weapon of yours, where exactly did you get it? This level of alchemy skill and metal of this grade, I've never seen anything like it. It's seriously next level. As for the guy who forged this treasure, his alchemy level is definitely way above yours. If you're interested, I can have him teach you. He Hong was thrilled. Really? A powerhouse like that would really let me study by his side? If he won't agree, then I'll beat him until he does. You don't need to worry about this. Beat him until he agrees? That doesn't sound right. And if I'm not mistaken, the one who made this treasure is at the peak of the Great Emperor realm. You sure you can beat him? At that point, Xiao Qingyi chuckled. Brother He, just trust him, that's all. No one in the demon domain dares disobey him. Otherwise, they get beaten. As soon as he said that, He Hong and Liu Yunyi were both shocked. Haha, perfect then. In that case, I'll head to Tianyu Vault and grab some good materials. Then you pointed at Liu Yunyi and said, By the way, the ones of you who aren't at the Great Emperor realm, come with me. There's a place over there that can cleanse your physiques, so it'll be easier for you to break through to the Great Emperor realm later. Then you said to Xiao Qingyi, Old Xiao, you should have Wang Duanshen's transmission mark, right? Tell him to come here. Tell him I want him to help. Build another alchemy room. After that, he can help with alchemy. Xiao Qingyi quickly nodded. Then you took the 4 of them and left. After that, Xiao Qingyi took out a transmission jade slip. Hello? Wang Duanshen, yeah. It's me again. If it's you, then bye. Wait, what do you mean bye? This time it's not me looking for you, then who is it? It's that guy, obviously. Get over here right now. He wants your help with alchemy. And he also wants an alchemy room built over here. You're trying to scam me again. Last time you said he was back and tricked me over there. So I'd help you forge a weapon. You want me to fall for it again? This time it's real. I swear. If I'm lying this time, I'm a grandson, ha 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 ha. You've already been my grandson once. Xiao Qingyi went silent for a moment, then said, if you don't believe me, ask Zui Tianfei. He's right here next to me. Then Zui Tianfei's voice came through. That's right, he's back. Oh, so you and Xiao Qingyi got smarter, huh? This time you're not even copying his voice directly anymore. Now you're copying Zui Tianfei's voice? You sound pretty convincing, but I still ain't going. Gahaha, if you've got guts, come beat me. The next second he hung up the transmission. At that moment, high above the barren lands in the east of the demon domain, you looked at the familiar landscape, and a faint smile appeared. This was where you first started becoming the strongest in the demon domain. That Juxian Black Knight that could instantly kill a great emperor level expert was obtained right here. Then you looked seriously at the 4 of them and said, stay close to me. Once we go deeper inside, don't leave my energy shield, or you'll get torn apart by the leftover demonic flames and corpses. Then you turned to Lu Zixuan alone and said, Zixuan, watch your little sister. Don't let her run off. At that, Meow Meow hurriedly said, don't worry sis, I'll behave. Among these 4, only Sun Minzi truly understood how terrifying the Tianyu Demon Cavern was. The number of great emperors who had fallen there, and even peak experts there, had already exceeded a full hand. Then you took the 4 of them, and turned into a streak of light, plunging straight downward. What are those guys doing? They're flying straight into the heart of the Skyfall Demon Cave. They must have a death wish. Once you dived into the huge pit, you didn't slow down at all, you sped up even more. In the blink of an eye, you took the group to about 3 miles deep. This is the spot. You waved your hand, and a massive light shield covered a 10-jang radius around you. You guys temper yourselves here. I'm heading deeper for some materials. Don't step outside the shield. Ignore anyone who shows up nearby. No one strong can hurt you. Okay, Dad. Meow Meow will wait for you. Then you flew deeper into the cave. At your peak, you could only reach 35 miles down with everything you had. Now that you're back, you're gonna check the very bottom and grab as much Skyfall Divine Gold as you can. You zipped down to around 25 miles and you were shocked to see a stunning woman at this depth. You glanced at her once, then zoomed past her toward the depths. Just then, the woman felt a black light flash right next to her. No way. At this depth, how could anyone fly down like that? Moments later, you reached 35 miles. Back then, you'd already taken all the Skyfall Divine Gold at this depth. Alright, let's see how far I can go with double my strength. 2.5 minutes later, you hit 45 miles deep and collected 2 millstone-sized chunks of Skyfall Divine Gold. You looked further down. This cave's only about 50 miles deep, huh? Double strength isn't cutting it at this depth, gonna crank it up to triple. In a flash, your cultivation surged to 3 times your normal power. Man, being strong feels good. All that discomfort vanished instantly. A quarter hour later, you reached the absolute bottom of the Skyfall Demon Cave. Right in the center of the pit, floated a huge chunk of Skyfall Divine Gold. Your eyes lit up. This single piece is enough to forge tons of stuff. Just then, you studied the gold closely and spotted something at its core. A translucent energy mass pulsed like it was alive. What the hell is in there? Feels like it's alive. Right at that moment, the energy mass launched a terrifying attack at you. Little thing's actually alive, and pretty aggressive too. You waved one hand and blasted that terrifying aura away. I'm gonna find out what you really are. And so, curious, you pressed forward. But every step you took, the energy inside the gold blasted out powerful waves to stop you from getting close. Feisty one, aren't you? You think you can hurt me? When you finally reached the gold and touched it with your dark power, the energy inside went quiet. This thing's scared of the Juxian Black Flame. Every time you collected Skyfall Divine Gold before, you used the flame to neutralize its energy. You still had no clue what this was, though. Might as well take it back. Maybe someone else knows. Meanwhile, 3 miles inside the cave, the woman who'd been at 25 miles stared curiously at the light shield. What is this? How are people at this cultivation level not dying inside it? Her gaze suddenly sharpened. Wait! That girl has an innate formation physique. Even with my full righteous talent, I don't have anything like that. Is this shield her formation? Ha! Talent like this as my disciple? I'd finally have a successor. Just as she was about to greet Liu Yunyi, her eyes turned fierce. Wait a second. She's radiating spiritual energy from the immortal ruins. Just as the red-robed woman glared at Liu Yunyi opened her eyes. She looked at the woman. Can I help you with something? But then, the red-robed woman's attitude flipped completely. Sorry about that. I just saw someone from the immortal realm and lost my cool. Thing is, I saw your innate formation physique, and want to take you as my disciple. Want to learn all my formation skills from me? With that, she unleashed her powerful righteous cultivation aura. Liu Yunyi froze completely. The strongest formation master she'd met in the immortal ruins was nothing compared to this woman. Liu Yunyi was tempted. You really want to take me as your disciple? I do. But first, you have to abolish your current cultivation and switch to our demon realm techniques. Liu Yunyi's face fell. Just then, Lu Zixuan shouted, Auntie, don't answer yet! Wait till my dad gets back to decide. Liu Yunyi thought that made sense. Senior, can we wait till my brother-in-law returns? When will he be back? And did you set up the shield? He stepped out for something and should be back soon. As for the shield, that's my brother-in-law's doing. The red-robed woman was surprised. She'd never seen a formation this strange before. Her name was Luo Danhong, the strongest formation master in the demon realm. Curious, she reached out to touch the shield. The next second, a terrifying attack blasted toward her. Luo Danhong threw up her strongest defensive formation without hesitation. When the pressure collided with the formation, the whole world dimmed. Luo Danhong regretted it instantly. She could barely hold on. Just then, a figure appeared behind her. You asked calmly, "What's your relation to Huang Hao, the demon realm's top formation master?" "Are you his disciple?" Luo Danhong gasped for air. "I'm not his disciple. He's my junior brother." As soon as she spoke, Luo Danhong felt the pressure vanish. "Since you're his senior sister and I felt no hostility from you, I'll spare you." Luo Danhong sighed in relief. When she looked up at you, her expression changed completely. "That's the guy who flew past me at 25 miles! You walked over to your elder daughter, heard what happened, then turned to Liu Yunyi. "If you want to take her as your master, you won't have to abolish your cultivation. I can fix that." Liu Yunyi awkwardly said she kind of wanted to, but she couldn't stay there forever. You saw right through what she was really worried about. If you're holding back because of your sister and brother, I say ignore him. Your sister's obsessed with power. Tell her you want to get stronger here and she'll agree. I won't even talk about your brother. You had a small selfish reason for saying this. If she stayed, she could look after the two kids better. Liu Yunyi thought for a moment. "I'll think about it." No rush to go back. Meanwhile, Luo Danhong hung her head, feeling wronged. "I'm supposed to be the one recruiting disciples. Why am I not getting a say?" When she looked up, you were standing right in front of her. "We're leaving for Demon Tomb City. You coming?" Luo Danhong nodded quickly. "Also, your formation skills are way better than that old guy Huang Hao. How come he never mentioned you? You know my junior brother. He loves being the center of attention. He was scared I'd steal his title as the demon realm's top formation master, so he never told anyone about me. I only care about studying formations, not fame or titles." You were speechless. That old jerk was even more shameless than you thought. Half an hour later, you returned to the small courtyard in Demon Tomb City. When you saw Wang Duanshan, you grinned. "Old Wang, you made it." "Haha, can't believe you're really back. Good thing Sui Tianfei sent me a message. I would have messed everything up otherwise. I told this old guy you were back, but he refused to believe me." Wang Duanshan looked innocent. "You have no idea. This old Xiao has tricked me so many times, I couldn't risk it." You laughed awkwardly. Lu Miao Miao stepped forward. "Dad, who is this?" "This is Wang Duanshan, an old friend of your dad's. Call him whatever you want." The next second, Lu Miao Miao yelled at Wang Duanshan, "Hi, Grandpa Wang!" You cringed hard. Wang Duanshan froze. "These are your daughters?" Lu Zixuan saw this, and also called him Grandpa. Those two titles hit him hard, and Wang Duanshan was completely won over. "Haha, hey there, you two!" Grandpa Wang didn't know you existed. Didn't bring any good gifts. "Tell you what, these are my two best 10th grade swords. Consider them Grandpa's welcome gifts." You looked at your hesitant daughters. "Don't worry, just take them." You grinned. One each isn't enough, you know? Can never have too many good things, right? Those Grandpa calls weren't for nothing. Gonna need 2 more. For Liu Yunyi and Sun Minzi. Yeah, take as many as you want. Grandpa's loaded with weapons. Nothing else, just weapons. Thanks, Grandpa Wang. Wang Duanshan beamed. The whole scene left Xiao Qingyi and Zui Tianfei stunned. This cheapskate old man was being this generous today? Once your daughters put the weapons away, you walked over to He Hong. "Old Wang, I called you here to introduce someone. This is He Hong, my old friend from the Immortal Ruins. You two met earlier, right?" Wang Duanshan immediately turned serious. "We met briefly. He's pretty good at weapon forging." "Perfect, I called you here to help me forge some treasures and teach him a few tricks." "Sure thing, wait." He suddenly realized something. "You're forging weapons? Got some crazy good materials this time?" As a forger, he loved working with rare materials. Got quite a bit this time. With that, you pulled out all the Skyfall Divine Gold. "After this, I won't just be the best forger alive. I'll be the greatest in history. No one will ever catch up to me." You nodded. "Same as always. Figure out how many treasures we can make. Draw up the plans and I'll pick." With that, you went to Liu Yunyi and Luo Danhong. You two figure out your own stuff. If you decide to stay long-term, come to me to convert your cultivation. Liu Yunyi nodded. You turned and left. Shui Tianfei, watching from afar, saw you talking to the red-robed woman and got a weird feeling. This woman might try to steal him from her. A quarter hour later, Liu Yunyi found a quiet spot and pulled out her sound transmission jade. "Sis, I want to stay here for good." Liu Yunyi hadn't made up her mind back in the cave, but after talking to Luo Danhong and getting a 10th grade sword from Lu Miao Miao, she'd made her choice. On the other end, Liu Ruyan took a deep breath. She quickly messaged her brother Liu Xuanyu and replied, "Did something happen to you over there? Did you get hurt?" "I'm fine. I actually got an incredible opportunity. With my brother-in-law's help, I awakened an innate formation physique." As soon as she said that, Liu Ruyan's brother walked in with Lu Zhenggren. When they heard innate formation physique, they were shocked. "Are you serious? That physique is only in legends." "I'm 100% sure." Then, Yu Yunyi explained everything that happened. Liu Ruyan listened, frowning. "This sounds way too convenient. And the woman's his friend's senior sister? You must be tricked. Brother-in-law isn't like that. He has a special identity. I just found out about it." She smiled bitterly. Who would have thought? Her brother-in-law was actually the famous Eternal Night Demon Emperor of the Demon Realm. The peak her sister chased was just a tiny starting point for him. Just then, Lu Xuanyu, who'd always looked down on his brother-in-law, said, "What big identity could he have? Just some Demon Realm Emperor. A peak Emperor-level expert. Our sister will be stronger than him someday, standing right next to the Eternal Night Demon Emperor." Liu Yunyi felt conflicted. Better not say anything else. It would shatter her sister's cultivation heart. Brother-in-law is super powerful here, and he's already set everything up for me. Don't worry about me. Liu Xuanyu's scalp went numb. "Second sister, did that guy brainwash you? Why are you defending him so hard?" Liu Yunyi snapped. "I know exactly what kind of person brother-in-law is. And another thing, if you badmouth him one more time, You're no longer my brother. Liu Ruyan saw things getting heated. Yunyi, calm down! Let's drop this for now. Think it over some more. We'll talk again later. With that, Liu Ruyan hung up. But Liu Yunyi had already figured out exactly what her sister was up to, so she quickly sent a message over to He Hong. Cut to the Immortal Ruins. Wait, what's going on? Elder, he's not picking up. Liu Xuanyu said through gritted teeth. Sis, something seriously shady is going on here. Hold on, let me try again. Wait, maybe he was just busy. That's when Liu Zhengran, who'd been standing quietly off to the side, suddenly spoke up. Mom, I believe what Auntie said. Dad's not that kind of person. Dad's not like that? Liu Xuanyu shot back hard. Liu Zhengran, don't act like you know your dad. Before your mom left him, did you ever think he was from the demon realm? Liu Zhengran went dead silent. Right then the message Jade lit up. Ruyan, what's the rush? You needed me for something? Liu Ruyan quickly said, yeah, I just need to confirm something. My sister suddenly says she wants to stay over there permanently. Then Liu Ruyan ran through everything she'd just heard from her sister.
Is this for real?
He Hong immediately got fired up. It's real. Don't worry, your ex is absolutely terrifying over here. Anything else? If not, I gotta get back to it. Liu Ruyan felt a bad feeling creeping in. Elder, Are you sure everything you said is true? Ruyan, that's cold. When have I ever lied to you? If you don't trust me, why'd you even call? And just like that, He Hong hung up. On the other side, Liu Ruyan's brow creased. No, Yunyi has to come back. Liu Xuanyu sighed. At this point, I don't think second sis is coming back. Even Elder Liu Ruyan cut her off. We won't know anything until she comes back in person. If it turns out to be true, then we let her go. A quarter hour later, Liu Yunyi pulled you aside. Brother-in-law, I've made up my mind. I'm staying. But my sister's worried I'm not making this choice freely. So I might have to head back for a bit. Having Yunyi stay is great. Sure, when do you leave? Right now. You nodded. Then you tore through space and brought Liu Yunyi with you. You arrived at the border between the demon realm and the immortal ruins. This is far enough, brother-in-law. Send me a message when you're done. And with that, the two went their separate ways. An hour later, Liu Yunyi stood before her sister. But she noticed two strangers standing inside the hall. One of them was Zhang Huairen, the strongest formation master in the immortal ruins. The other was a peak Emperor Realm cultivator who specialized in soul arts. Liu Yunyi let out a long sigh. She already knew where this was going. Sis, I came back to prove one thing. I'm perfectly safe over there. And to say goodbye in person. Now that I've done both, I should get going. Hold on, that only proves you weren't in danger. It doesn't rule out the possibility you've been manipulated. Liu Yunyi's body suddenly lit up with a strange glow. Then take a look right now. Am I lying to you? Is this or is this not an innate true body? But Zhang Huairen's eyes were filled with pure greed. He shot Lin Tingxue a look. Lin Tingxue caught it immediately. So she stepped forward and said, okay, maybe you haven't been deceived. But do you really need to go all the way over there to learn formations? Let me introduce you. This is Zhang Huairen, the greatest formation master in the immortal ruins. Fellow Taoist Lin is right. The so-called strongest in the demon realm? Come stand before me and I'll crush him like a bug. Liu Yunyi looked at this smug, arrogant Zhang Huairen and felt a surge of pure rage. Senior, I've actually had the chance to see your best work. And compared to the one in the demon realm, it's not even close. If that offends you, I apologize. Zhang Huairen barely held it together. Fine, I won't stoop to your level, but don't come crying to me later. Lin Qingsui saw things going sideways and quickly switched gears. Alright, if you're still set on your decision, at least let your sister have peace of mind. Let this fellow Taoist do a soul reading, what do you say? Liu Yunyi had nothing to hide, so she nodded without hesitation. Go ahead, fellow Taoist Jia. The old man stepped up to Liu Yunyi. He summoned a beam of golden light at his fingertip, and pressed it directly into Liu Yunyi's mind. A moment later, he privately relayed to Lin Qingsui. Fellow Taoist Lin! Her soul is completely normal. Lin Qingsu's brow immediately furrowed. After a brief pause, she narrowed her eyes. Fellow Taoist Jia, do what I told you. I've confirmed it. Her soul has been tampered with using a special secret technique. In that moment, Liu Yunyi understood everything. She'd been set up by Lin Qingsui. Lin Qingsui chimed in quickly. See? I told you this wasn't simple. Ruyan, we cannot let your sister go back to the demon realm. Liu Ruyan frowned deeply. Yunyi, I felt like something's been off with you. Just stay in the immortal ruins for a while, okay? Liu Yunyi looked heartbroken. Sis, you really let me down. Even you don't trust me. Lin Qingsui jumped in immediately. Excuse me, is that any way to talk to your sister? She's doing all of this for you. That was it. Liu Yunyi completely snapped. Lin Qingsui, I've had it with you. My sister's divorce, you had everything to do with that. And now you're here trying to drive a wedge between me and my sister? What's your angle? Lin Qingsu's face instantly darkened. Ruyan, look at your sister. She's only been in the demon realm a few days and she's already soul-controlled. If you let her go back, you'll regret it. Liu Yunyi went full fire mode. Lin Qingsui, you've got the nerve to say I've been soul-controlled. Your whole family's soul-controlled. Liu Ruyan was completely stunned. She'd never seen her little sister act like this before. Yunyi, do you even know what you're doing right now? I know exactly what I'm doing. I've never been more clear-headed in my life. With that, Liu Yunyi pulled out the sword Miao Miao had gifted her. Now I finally understand how brother-in-law must have felt back then. She pointed the blade straight at Lin Qingsui. Be glad I don't have my brother-in-law's power. Because if I did, today would be your last day. Lin Qingsui played innocent. Ruyan, your sister has completely lost it. We have to keep her here. Liu Ruyan stared at her completely changed little sister, and once again believed Lin Qingsui. Put the weapon down, or don't blame me for what happens next. Those words broke Liu Yunyi completely. She suddenly pressed the blade against her own throat. You really want to keep me here that bad? Then I'll die right here. Liu Ruyan's face went white. She never expected her sister to go this far. She wanted to make a move. But she knew her sister was a Saint King Realm cultivator, and that absurdly overpowered tier 10 sword in her hand. One slight movement of her arm and it'd all be over. Yunyi, please calm down, let's talk this out. There's nothing left to talk about. My life is mine to control. That's when Liu Xuanyu, who had been against Second Sis leaving this whole time, suddenly stepped forward. Big Sis, don't move. I know Second Sis better than anyone. I know exactly how she is. I really want her to stay, but not like this. Not at the cost of tearing our family apart. Liu Ruyan's emotions were all over the place. After a long moment, she let out a deep sigh. Fine, go. Before she left, Liu Yunyi took one last look at her sister and brother. I'm not coming back this time. If you still consider me your sister, then trust me, Lin Qingshui cannot be trusted. She turned and gave Lin Qingshui a cold, hard glare. You better watch your back. When I'm stronger than you, I'm coming for you. With that, Liu Yunyi summoned a teleportation formation. In the blink of an eye, she was gone. Lin Qingshui immediately turned to Zhang Huairen. Break the formation and go after her. But Liu Ruyan said firmly, she's made her choice. Let her go. Lin Qingshui saw how serious Liu Ruyan was and backed off. Afterward, Liu Ruyan kept Lin Qingshui behind. Master, was the reading just now fake? Lin Qingshui lowered her head and stayed silent for a moment. Then she looked up. Ruyan, if you already know the answer, why are you asking me? Liu Ruyan took a slow breath. Why did you do it? Liu Yunyi has awakened an innate true body. A talent like that staying on our side. Do you have any idea how much it would help our plan? Can't you see that? Liu Ruyan exploded. She is my sister, not a tool. Ruyan, you're still too attached, I've told you before. If you want real power, you have to cut out all emotional distractions. The air between them went ice cold. Fine, do whatever you want. But ask yourself, is letting your sister go over there actually good for her? You and I both know, even if she gets the Eternal Night Demon Emperor himself to help, there's no way he can convert her cultivation successfully. She'll just end up a cripple in the demon realm. That's still better than her dying. And what ticks me off the most about what you pulled, you didn't tell me beforehand. If you ever pull something like this again, don't blame me for returning the favor. Lin Qingshui's brow tightened. She's actually threatening me now? Getting a little too big for her boots. Cut to the border between the demon realm and the immortal ruins. Liu Yunyi spotted you and instantly felt at ease. Brother-in-law, can you actually convert my cultivation? You smirked. Have I ever lied to you? I'll take care of it right now. In an instant, you brought Liu Yunyi back to the courtyard. Luo Danhong was already there waiting. Liu Yunyi dropped to both knees. Master, please accept my bow. After everything she'd just been through in the immortal ruins, she was burning to get stronger. Ha! Get up! Luo Danhong rushed forward and helped Liu Yunyi to her feet. Then, from behind Luo Danhong, a hand landed on her shoulder. Fellow Taoist Luo, I'm officially putting her in your hands, teach her well. If she does well, I'll make sure to reward you handsomely. Luo Danhong instantly shuddered at those words. In her mind, that was a warning. Right at that moment, Sui Tianfei caught the whole scene from nearby. He was absolutely fuming. After wrapping things up with Luo Danhong, you took Liu Yunyi alone into the small grove. Your cultivation right now is several times what it used to be. Any cultivation below the Grand Earth Realm can be converted freely. A quarter hour later, you successfully converted Liu Yunyi's cultivation to demonic energy. Alright, your cultivation's been converted. Just settle in and make yourself at home here. If anything comes up that you can't handle, just come find me. In that moment, a strange feeling washed over Liu Yunyi. You noticed and quickly cleared your throat. If there's nothing else, I'll head out. Take some time to get used to your new state. And with that, you bolted. Liu Yunyi's face went beet red. But right then, she noticed a message coming in from her little brother. After hesitating for a moment, she picked up. Second Sis! You finally replied. I was freaking out. I thought you'd done something stupid. Hearing her brother's voice, Liu Yunyi felt a warmth in her chest. I'm fine. Brother-in-law came and got me. And he already converted my cultivation. Liu Xuanyu was shocked. Second Sis, you're Saint King Realm. How is that even possible? You're messing with me. Hey, when have I ever lied to you? You've always had way too low of an opinion of brother-in-law. You really underestimate him? He's actually incredible. That completely shut Liu Xuanyu up. Liu Yunyi knew her brother still wasn't convinced. Little bro, promise me you won't tell Big Sis what I'm about to say. And I'll tell you something that'll make everything click instantly. What do you mean don't tell Big Sis? What are you even talking about? Just say it. Swear on the heavenly Tao first. If you tell Big Sis, you'll never get with the girl you like. Ever again. Liu Xuanyu's jaw dropped. Second Sis, are you insane? You can't just swear that. Are you swearing or not? If not, I'm never talking to you again. Liu Xuanyu hesitated, then finally clenched his jaw and took the heavenly Tao oath. Fine, happy now? So Liu Yunyi stumbled through it and finally got the words out. Brother-in-law. He's actually your idol. He's the Eternal Night Demon Emperor of the Demon Realm.